I just did a video of abilities, underused abilities, undervalued abilities in Draft League, whether or not you use them, whether or not you don't. I guarantee some people are looking at some of these going, oh man, I never even thought of that. So hopefully this helps. So now I'm going to do one about moves, underused moves that people aren't really using. There could be a Pokemon that you really, really want to draft, and it gets one of these moves that you didn't know, and it just gives you another way to use that Pokemon, and you didn't even know. Didn't even know it. So let's get into it. I had a really, really long intro last time, but let's just dive into it. So the first move I want to talk about is Mist. Good old Gen 1 Mist. What does Mist do? I'll give you a second. Does anybody know what Mist does? Not Mist, M-I-S-S-E-D, like you missed 2 snarls in a row. That's very unlikely, but it does happen, but it's annoying. No, Mist, M-I-S-T, the Mist, misty terrain, mist. What does it do? It actually stops your opponent from lowering any of your stats. Any of your stats. It sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? Jason, I didn't even know there was a move that did that. You're lying. You're full of it. Actually, no, it's called Mist. It's great. And actually, a lot of Pokemon get it, too. A lot of Pokemon get it. So Mist stops your opponent from lowering all of your stats for 5 turns. And this includes max moves, too. I mentioned in the last video as well, a lot of max moves lower a specific stat in the turn, and a lot of them, they count on that. So if you see your opponent has Max Dragon, or Intimidate, or Charm, or Baby Doll Eyes, or Feather Dance that nobody uses, which I'm surprised isn't on this list, but maybe another video. Lowering your attack, and that's their strategy for beating you. You can use Mist for basically half the game. They can't lower any of your stats, and if that's your strategy for beating somebody, they could use Mist, and you're in a lot of trouble. So it was I think we did it. I'll have to confirm with Cascade, but I think this move was actually on the Inteleon in the championship, just in case that's the strategy that his opponent was going for. But yeah, this is a very, very cool tech if used correctly. So it stops your opponent from losing speed, getting a speed advantage using Icy Wind or Electro Web if you get the Mist off first. Like I said, max moves already, using Charm, Snarl, things like that. All of those don't work for 5 turns once this move gets off. And there's no way of clearing it. There's actually no way of clearing it. Maybe Defog. I think Defog does it. Who uses Defog in doubles? Maybe I should use Defog on this list for my next video. Who knows? To stop Mist. But until people are using this move, yeah, I'm not going to. Go singles, right? Shout out singles. Yeah, it also stops your opponent from lowering your defenses as well. A lot of people run like Whimsicott or things like that using Fake Tears or Screech or Tickle or things like that just to give them that advantage so they can OHKO you. So again, needless to say, they can't do that strategy. And that's 3 different very common strategies a lot of people use every single week. Stat drops, I would say, are a part of every single week. There are a couple of people that have been not relying on it, which is awesome, because a move like this can completely destroy a lot of people if that's what they usually go for. So if you play a guy that has tendencies to use Snarls, Icy Winds, Electro Webs, things like that for their main strategies, this can definitely put a wrench into their plan, or throw a wrench into their plan. Who gets it? Who gets Mist? Blastoise, Pelipper, Finny, Volcanion. Yeah, draft Volcanion. He's not in it. Anyway. Inteleon gets it. Cresselia, I didn't know Cresselia got it. That's crazy, actually. Glastrier gets it. Ninetales, Politoed, Vanillux, Wartortle. It goes on and on and on. Look at all the people that get it, or the Pokemon that get it. This is crazy. Suicune, S tier shout out, by the way, for season 4. Milotic, Mamoswine, Ludicolo. This move, I am surprised that nobody's been using this move. Just think about all the times that a stat was lowered and you couldn't do anything about it, and this move could have saved you from that for 5 turns. And all it takes is 5 turns sometimes to win a game. I've seen games end in 3 or 4. 5 turns, the match is over sometimes. Jason, stop talking about Mist so much and move on to the next move. Encore. Encore is, I'd say, a poor man's taunt. But a lot of you can use Encore different ways than people can use Taunt. So Taunt usually is used to stop Trick Room, to stop other taunters, used to stop Will-O-Wisps, recovers, blah blah. Any status move, if you're taunted, You can't use those moves anymore. Encore, for example, lasts just as long, 3 turns, as taunt, but it's done after the move is used. So what move do you not want to use twice in a row? Trick Room, Tailwind, Protect, things like that. Actually, Trick Room could really, really ruin you if you're encored. Like whether or not, like sometimes you can even run Taunt and Encore. Not likely, usually you want to run one or the other. But if somebody has a Mental Herb on them or something like that, so you taunt them, they have a Mental Herb, they get Trick Room up anyway, and they think they're fine, you can Encore the next turn. They use Trick Room right away and resets Trick Room. They do have to use it again. So the next turn they will be setting Trick Room, but knowing that they're going to go last in that series, you could definitely double into them, or they switch out, or whatever it might be. Or you can taunt them. The Mental Herb's gone, right? Oh, no, I don't think you can taunt after they've been encored. I'll have to check on that, but I'm not perfect. I don't really know this game. I don't even know what I'm doing here. But yeah, Encore is great. One of the ways that Encore is used most effectively is against a Protect. Say somebody uses Protect and you attack into it. Oh, crap, that really sucks. You can Encore that slot. They have to Protect again, and I think it's 25% chance they get another Protect on. So it's probably going to fail. It's going to go first, or they get the double Protect, whatever it might be. But the thing is, they have to use it for 3 turns. So even if they do somehow manage to get that double Protect off with the 1/4 chance, they're not getting it off a 3rd time. They might. Obviously, there's like a whatever 1/16 or whatever 1/8 chance. I forget what the numbers are. But having to use it 3 turns in a row, guess what? They're probably switching out. Let's be honest. If you're taunted, or Encore especially, if you're encored into a move you don't want, like a Protect, you're switching out, or you're sacking it in that sense. So Encore, very, very cool. Who gets Encore? Freaking everybody. Who doesn't get Encore? Look at this. Look how long this list is. This is crazy. Everyone gets Encore. Actually, who doesn't? All these people. Oh, wait. Illegal response. It's illegal. Anyway, Encore is really, really cool. Hopefully, people start using it. I think I might have used it Season 2 with my Whimsicott. Prankster Encore is broke. Yeah, Prankster is just an amazing ability. But next ability, or next move that I think is very, very cool that people don't use a lot. We've seen a little bit of it, or mostly what people didn't know it could do for you and how you could use it in a match. Substitute. Let's just get this out of the way. Who gets Substitute? Let's just say I don't think there's a Pokemon that doesn't get it. I could be wrong. That's actually a question of the day. Go in the Discord. Who can't learn Substitute? I'm sure there's someone that can do it, so that'd be really, really cool. Throw it in the comments below, or throw it in the Discord. I don't care. Whatever. Start the conversation. I kind of want to know too, so that's probably why. What does Substitute do? You reduce your HP by 25%. You create a little cute little decoy. Doesn't look anything like you. It just looks like this stupid little doll thing in front of you, whatever. And it takes the next attack. Or next incoming anything, whatever it might be. You can use it to stall out a Dynamax. You can use it to stop stat drops, status effects, knockoff, things like that. And a lot of people didn't know that. It's like, wow, if I set a Substitute, you can't lower my stats. Very, very cool stuff. Status effects, things like that. If you're expecting a Will-O-Wisp, I like a lot of people saw it on Zacian. Substitute, because it stops charms, it stops future intimidates, because the intimidate happens before your Substitute gets off that turn. Knockoff as well, like being able to knock off an item, a Substitute stops that. Unfortunately, when the 25% is done, your HP is depleted for that Substitute. It's gone, and you're fine. The best you could hope for with a Substitute is you sub and they switch out, or use a status move, you use it first. Things like that. I think Substitute could really, really ruin somebody if used at the right time. We saw it on Heatran this season, I believe once. Other than that, I don't think anybody used Substitute all season, and I don't know if anybody's really used it. Correct me if I'm wrong, from Season 1 to 3. But yeah, Substitute, very, very cool move. The best thing about it is that everyone gets it. So yeah, use Substitutes if you're expecting... what's it called? Any statuses. If you want to stall out a Dynamax, it's not just a Focus Sash and protecting and switching that can stall out Dynamaxes. Dynamax is meant to search, kill, and destroy. Oko everything. 130 base power moves, just broken. Can't wait till it's gone. But Substitute can definitely stop that from happening. You just sub every single turn, you can at least do it 3 times if you take no damage, unless they double into you. But if there's a Dynamax mon on the field, you substitute 3 turns, their max is gone, your Pokemon's not dead, you'll take that trade-off any day. Any day. Use best on fast Pokemon or slow Pokemon in Trick Room, but actually going last using Substitute could be really cool as well, because now next turn starts, you get the Substitute at the beginning of the turn, which is really cool. So now they can't start the turn, because you're going to go last anyway. They can't start the turn with a status move like a T-Wave or a Will-O-Wisp, things like that. But yeah, Substitute, very, very cool. But let's get into moves that are used, but let's get into attacking moves, I guess, mostly. I think there's a couple here. Electro Ball and Gyro Ball. Electro Ball is used mostly on Regieleki because it is so much faster. Well, first of all, what does Electro Ball do and Gyro Ball do? They do damage based on the difference between speed, between who you are and what your opponent is. So a lot of the times, so Electro Ball, for example, it can get as strong as 150 power on its attack. Most attacks are in the 60, 70, 80 range. A good attack is 80, 90, things like that, like Energy Ball, Psychic, things like that. They're in the 80, 90 range. Getting up to 150 power is insane, and both of these moves can do it, Electro Ball and Gyro Ball. Who gets Electro Ball? Quite a few things. Yeah, quite a few things. But again, it's got to be used on something fast. So so you can, and not to mention, it's affected by Tailwind, speed increases, speed decreases. So it's your speed stat at the time of the attack. So if you're using Icy Winds or Tailwind or +1 from an Airstream next to you, now your Electro Ball gets stronger. And if you're 4 times faster than your target, you have a 150 power move, non-Dynamax move. And then you can throw on one of the items like a magnet or things like that to make it even stronger, or a life orb, or let alone giving yourself boosts from, you know, weakness policy, or, you know, attack next to you. Like there are a bunch of different ways you can raise your attack, but 150 power move is double what most of the other moves are on average. So very, very strong. Gyro Ball. So by the way, Electro Ball is an electric move. Electro. Didn't think I had to explain it, but I thought I'd throw it in there anyway. Gyro Ball, a steel type move. Not as commonly used as Electro Ball, but very, very good as well. It gets to 150 power when your target speed is, it's a weird number. It's actually 5.96 times faster. So your opponent that you're attacking is almost 6 times faster. Let's just say 6 times for a solid number. If your opponent is 6 times faster than you, you're going to have 150 power base power move that's steel. So, and this works in Trick Room as well. So Gyro Ball with a Trick Room on like Stack Attacka is its stab. Its base speed is, I think it's like 17 or something like that. It's ridiculously slow. So most things are going to be that fast. Like, so if you're at, I think it gets down to what, like 12 or 15 speed. So let's just say it's 15 times 6. So if your opponent has 90 speed, you're getting hit with a 150 base power move, for the most part. So Gyro Ball, very, very, very strong. But again, this is only based on speed. So there are sometimes this move is very, very strong. There are sometimes these moves are very, very weak. They can get very, very low in power if the, you know. So in Draft League, you know what you're going to be facing for the most part, and you could always run another move that either Electro Ball or Gyro Ball won't be good against to take out that slower or faster threat in a Draft League, because you know it's coming. Things like that. You can actually make Electro Ball or Gyro Ball faster or stronger by using items like Iron Ball for Gyro Ball, having your speed. Electro Ball, Choice Scarf, and things like that can make it better. Things like that. Very, very cool stuff. Not super used, but I think being able to get an attack that strong, like a Hyper Beam, without any drawbacks is actually really cool, and can be used. So I haven't seen it a whole lot in our league, WPL, so far. So hopefully this brings some light to it, and people might want to jump into it. So who gets Electro Ball, Gyro Ball, and just those two? Who gets those? Eleki, Coco, two very, very good Pokemon that can use it. Jolteon's very fast. Bolton's very fast. Cinderace, I was very surprised to see gets Electro Ball as well. So I can see Cinderace drafted this season. Thunderous, it actually has a higher special attack than physical attack, so I can see this being very good. A lot of electric Pokemon are very fast as well. You know, Galvantula, Heliolisk, Raichu. Raichu, oh my god, with Surge Surfer, it doubles its speed. This thing could hit so hard if you have the right environment at the time. And Gyro Ball, what gets Gyro Ball? Gyro Ball, stack attack, I believe. Can I sort by lowest speed? I don't think so. Okay. Wow, Torkoal gets it. Ferrothorn, Stab gets it. Oh, it's 13 base speed for stack attack. Ferroseed, Shuckle gets it as well, and it doesn't get any slower than Shuckle. Bronzor could do it as well. You know, just things like the Steelix is really, really good. Like Bronzong is known for using it. Yeah, so these moves, a lot of people like just playing it safe, running Iron Head. I think it's base 80 attack. But Gyro Ball, again, in the right matchup in Draft League, knowing what you're going to be facing for the most part, could give you a massive advantage if you choose this move over Iron Head and just go. It's a little bit of a, you know, a gamble, you know, based on what it does in certain situations. So, so we move on to the next move. It's more so a status that I'm going to be getting into, not so much a move, but there are 3 moves that I want to talk about in this situation. So Paralysis is very, very, very broken. Having a quarter chance, a 1 in 4 chance of not doing anything on your turn is insane. And not to mention a 50% cut in your speed, which can actually affect Gyro Ball and Electro Ball from the last segment as well. So Thunder Wave, Glare, Nuzzle, they're the 3 moves that I want to be talking about. 1 does damage, 2 don't. But they can really cripple a team. Usually in draft prep, when I'm testing with somebody that's for their match, if there's a way that I can just paralysis spam on their, like, against their Pokemon, I want to see if they can deal with it, because it's a very, very cool strategy. Togetic, Heliolisk, Raichu, a lot of things get T-Wave. Less things get Nuzzle. Glare is really cool because it's not affected. I believe it's not affected by electric types, I want to say. Bulbapedia is really, really good for this. Let me just double check. Glare. Not affected by Snatch, Contact, blah, blah, blah. Glare's accuracy changed from 90 to 100, which is actually much different than T-Wave. Electric type Pokemon are now immune to it. Okay, so yeah, you cannot paralyze an electric type with Glare or T-Wave. So I learned something today. So that's actually kind of cool. But Glare, less Pokemon get Glare anyway. But Paralysis is very, very, very hurtful to a Pokemon strategy or a team strategy, because if a lot of the time speed control is a major part of your prep, so cutting your speed by 50% is not ideal. And also a key Paralysis, not being able to do a move when you really, really need it, whether or not it's a turn of recovery that you want to get, not being able to get that last attack off or of recovery, or it could just ruin your match. The Pokemon's dead, potentially, if it gets hurt and paralysis that turn. So every 4 turns, statistically speaking, you're going to miss 1 of your turns. You know, most matches last 8 turns, you know, 6 to 8 turns, things like that. Some of them go longer, 10, 11, 12, things like that. So yeah, T-Wave, you know, missing a quarter of your turns could really, really hurt, and the speed decrease. So Nuzzle, I like Nuzzle a lot because let me see, Nuzzle. Yeah, Nuzzle's really, really cool because it breaks sashes. So it doesn't just get the paralysis, it actually breaks a sash at the same time. So you could do it, you could double into a Pokemon that could have a sash. You know, say they survive that second hit, at least they're paralyzed for the next turn, or whatever it might be. But yeah, that's, everybody knows about T-Wave and things like that. But how broken Paralysis is currently, they're eventually going to fix it for Gen 9, I think. They're going to do something about it because it's kind of crazy. I believe actually in a previous gen, or a previous gen, Paralysis actually lowered your speed to 0.25, I'm pretty sure. So which was even worse, obviously, because it's lower. But yeah, let's get into the next and last moves I want to talk about. Seismic Toss and Nightshade. Seismic Toss and Nightshade does exactly 50 HP of damage to your opponent. When do you use Seismic Toss and Nightshade? When you probably can't do 50 HP of damage to your opponent, And it's also just a nice solid number. Like, you can look at how much health your opponent has and you say that will kill. You don't have to worry about rolls, things like that. It's going to do 50 HP unless it's immune to it or whatever it might be. Can't be resisted. Doesn't matter if it's super effective or not. It's going to do 50 HP of damage. So Pokemon that use it really, really well. Politoed actually gets one of the two. I believe it's Seismic Toss. Let me see. Politoed. Yeah, get Seismic Toss. Actually surprised people aren't using more Politoed with the Seismic Toss, because guaranteed damage is really, really good, especially if you're using like a Scald in the Rain and something like 4 times resist it, like a Ferrothorn. Not Ferrothorn. Yeah, something that 4 times resist it. You know what I mean? It's not going to do any damage, so Seismic Toss might be the choice for you. Nightshade as well. Dusclops uses it really, really well. Corsola uses it really well, the Galarian version, so you can actually throw an Eviolite on there, just be an absolute pest, and you get some Nightshades off, and you can do 50 damage with those massive defensive stats. So very, very cool moves. It ignores any stat calculation whatsoever. Yeah, it's just really, really good. There used to be a huge strategy with Seismic Toss on Chansey Blissey, because it doesn't do a lot of damage. It's got an okay special attack stat, but yeah, doing exactly 50 damage is really cool. You usually see it on Dusclops with Nightshade for the most part. So so I don't know. I hope these moves really helped. I'll probably do another video because there's a lot of moves that aren't really used that can be very, very cool, and abilities as well. So we'll have to kind of see, if anybody liked these videos. If not, I won't make any more. I'll just do something else. But if they do, then yeah, it just gives people another way of looking at Pokemon and moves and just different strategies they can use on a weekly basis in Draft League. So that's it for me. Hopefully that helps and everybody learns and just gets a little bit better and uses none of these strategies against me in Season 4. That's the rule for this video. You can't use them against me. So, signing off. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe if you want. Dislike, I don't really care. But yeah, just hopefully you learned a little bit, and I'll see you in Season 4. Peace.
It's the World Pokemon League, #1 draft league you could ever see.